Alright, so I got 3 different phones. You got your newer version of stuff rolling around on a screw. This is your sealed. Then there was a time before when they all came in sealed that the backs came off and you could take the batteries out. So you could put SIM cards in, you could put memory cards in, all kinds of stuff like that. And then you got the old school flip phone. Make you think you're talking to Scotty and you can get beamed up. I know some of y'all watching probably have never seen one of these, but that's kind of how they started back in the day after the big bag phones and stuff. They went to the little flip phones, different sized ones, you know, like this and so on. And then these started coming along, and not too long after that you started going to your sealed stuff. So I'm going to try to break all 3 of these down, show you what's inside of them, and show you the difference.
Rock bottle on the track, boy.
Alright, so we're going to start with the old flip phones. So normally the backs on these popped off pretty easily. Each one's a little different. Some of them you had to slide down or slide up or whatever. There's no SIM card in here, no memory card. Yeah, so good stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and get this open, and a little bit easier to deal with when you're only dealing with one side at a time. So as time has gone on, they have gotten better at plating stuff in gold for those connections to keep them from going bad. Copper tends to tarnish, as well as silver when it's exposed to the elements, even just air. That water and that oxygen and all interact with it and tarnish it. So that's why they plate pins and stuff in gold, is to keep it from tarnishing, to continue giving you that good connection, because gold does not tarnish like that. It will a little over time, but nothing like the others will. So the older the golder is the saying, and this is an older phone. Somebody said they were starting to go back to flip phones. That I do not know. That very well might be true. But we've got little gold tabs here and here, making these connections. Some here to make this connection, and so on and so forth. So I'm not seeing any screws in anything, and we already broke this, so there's gold in that connector. Gold in that piece. There is brass here if you want to go after those little brass nuggets. That is up to you. It's a little too much for me. I will pull these off and put it with my gold stuff. This right here has gold on each pin at the end of it there. So we started with the keypad, so we got to pull this off. And here you go. Let's see if maybe it'll peel back for me a little bit. So these buttons are gold with gold underneath on the board. So I normally just leave it like that till I'm ready to get the buttons and all out. But it's gold plating. This board back here, you can see all the gold on the ends here. These pins on the board. So cell phones are normally a pretty good source of gold, especially your older ones. I'll do that later. So now we have the front screen. These are normally sealed up pretty good. They can be a bit of a pain to get into. Alright, again, you've got gold on the pins here. That's for the speaker. You've got a gold piece here. This is the vibrating piece, and here's a camera. There's normally a little thing of gold in the camera. And your plug has gold, so hopefully y'all can see the end there. The little vibrating thing I really don't know about, so I'm just holding on to them until I get a chance to tear one apart. Because there very well might be gold in them. Alrighty then, well, you can see inside that speaker there's some more gold. So that's pretty much it for this. Alright, so your main screen board here, there's gold in that connector. There's gold in this. Let's start with this one. So there's gold in that connection. As you can see, gold flashing, gold in that connection, gold in this connection, gold in that connection, gold in that connection. We'll flip this over and see if we can't pop this screen off. As you can see, gold flashing on the board, gold showing in the wire. I normally just peel them right off the screen. This gold ends where it's plugged into the board. So that's pretty much it for the old flip phones. Not hard to take apart or anything. These are pretty thin and a little difficult to get a hold of. Yeah. So they're just going to be a pain, so I'll get them later. Alright, next type of phone here. And I'm not rushing. You can set up a drill to take these screws out faster. You can do it faster, whatever. I'm doing this just to let y'all see what's actually in them. And doing stuff this small is not for everybody. As usual, I found this stuff to be relaxing. They leave you those chips. They've got gold on them. Not all. Some are silver looking now. But if it's gold, it's always a plus. If they leave the memory card in there, that's gold. Well, it's got gold on it. A lot of your credit cards have the same looking thing as that chip. So if your card's expired, cut that thing off. Take that gold. So, now we gotta get in here. Again, you've got the little pieces that run around the outside. You got your little speaker there. So this is your board. You can see there's gold flashing. There's going to be some chips under here. You've got gold on your pins here to make the connections. There's going to be gold in this pin. You have a forward and a rear facing camera. Again, there's normally a little gold in the end of them, and the connections are gold. You've got gold here, gold here, gold in this, gold in this. Gold pins here, gold connection. Yeah, some more gold flashing. Again, a few chips underneath here. So yeah, they're pretty good. But again, it's coated lighter than the old ones. Because they get better over the years. So I had gold on it. So now we're going to see if we can get this to turn loose, maybe. Maybe not. Alright, so we got a little board down here. This is your little Wi-Fi thing. So you can see there's gold here. This connection here is going to be gold. There's gold flashing on the back of it. It's all on top. So a lot of people don't mess with the screens because they can be a bit of a pain. Normally if you apply some heat, it gets a little easier. And this one's definitely being a pain. So I'm just going to take and pull most of this off. There's gold connections on all these little wires. Sometimes they just glue stuff together so good. There it goes. So normally where that wire goes to that screen, it's got a pretty good piece. Of gold on it. But again, like I said, it all depends upon if it's worth it to you or not. That last piece. So it normally takes a little work to get to it. And for the amount of work it takes, most time I just toss it on over in there and be done with it. There it goes. See, all that work for that little bit right there. Not really worth it. I mean, every little bit counts, but that's just too much. I still have some here to take off. And then you also have all that glass that you broke in the process that you have to deal with. just don't, so I don't have to deal with it. Alright, y'all give me a second. Let me see if I can't clean this glass up. Alright. So, now we're to this. These can also be tricky. So these are sealed. They're not really made to be opened because the world is a throwaway world. However, there are some people that work on them and do stuff, and yeah, so if you find the right place, sometimes you can just slide your finger in there. And actually, this one's not even as old as I thought it was. A lot of your iPhones, you have to take the glass off, and yeah, all this is kind of built together. This one is not quite as old as I thought. There's no gold showing on that, but it's still a chip. But yeah, a lot of your iPhones, you have to heat that glass to get it off. Same thing for the front, get them to pop loose. A lot of your frames are made out of aluminum, so you can throw your aluminum in your aluminum stack. But a lot of your newer ones you can't take apart very easily, not without busting the screens and doing all kinds of other crazy Fruit Loop stuff to them, and just making a huge mess. We should be able to just get right down here on the side and get it to pop loose if I can find the right place. Maybe. Like I said, these are basically made sealed, so you can't really get in very easy. This is one of the few last ones that you can actually pry into at the connection points. So just like the other, you got little connections that are gold plated. This is a piece of metal, and you got your speaker or whatever right there that you want to pull out. Anyway, you can finish ripping that out if you want. I'll do that in a few. And you got your batteries here. So this is where they start making me nervous, because your batteries, it's easy to damage a battery. So you gotta be kind of simple and easy with it. You don't want to really damage it, but most of the time I just take them outside. There is gold here. There's a little bit up under there. I don't even fool with them. One of these starts heating up and you can have a serious problem really fast, and you cannot put that fire out, not easily anyway. Normally takes foam. I think that's the only screw. Do I have one right there? Yep, little sticker over it. What kind of craziness is that? Pop all your connections, and there's your board. Again, there's a few chips under here. There's another camera, gold flashing. As you can tell, that gold flashing is a bit of a different color than the other gold flashing because it's thinner. You got another camera on this side. So yeah. Then you got all this stuff. So you got all your connections here have gold. There's a little IC chip. This goes over to the screen, I do believe. That connection's got gold, and it also has two more spots of gold. You see there's still some gold up there. That's all part of getting to the screen. And then you got your aluminum in between. So again, here you are, creating a glass problem. So as you can see, that connection went right there up to the top. So normally you're going to have that connection on one end or the other. So I'm going to see if I can pull these plastic sides off. And like I said before, a little heat normally helps, softens this plastic up so it acts right. There's you a little bit more gold. So you have to decide if all that work's worth it or not. That little bit of flashing and that connection. And that's pretty much it. So again, it's up to you if you want to go through all that or not. Like I said, the newer ones are missing quite a bit of I mean, they've got some gold, but it's not super thick gold. Clean that aluminum up. Toss that in your aluminum. That's cast, not sheet. Pull your battery out, send it where it needs to go. I'm not going to pull it out on camera because I don't want to recommend folks do that, because like I said, you could find yourself in a bad spot fast. But yeah, so basically that's pretty much your 3 different types of cell phones. Well, not including the iPhone, which I don't care for anything. It's not my style. Pull that out the top. And the glass you have to deal with if you're going to do them. So that's why a lot of people don't mess with them. They can make a mess, be a huge pain. And they can get a little dangerous too if you're fooling with the batteries. So but that's gonna be it. Hope y'all enjoyed that, and we'll see you next time.